Finally, I'd like to introduce Julia Willebrand. 4 years ago, Julia received 117,000 votes running for comptroller on the Green Party line, and we know she's going to do better than that this year. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce Dr. Julia Willebrand.
Well, it's quite wonderful to be here, to be able to present you with the signatures of 27,000 alert, awake citizens of this state that want to see a Green Party, not just on the ballot, but in office. Howie talked about money and the Green New Deal and the desperate needs of everybody in this state, for everybody except the hedge fund managers in this state that's in need. Gloria seconded what he had to say and then talked more about the problems that we heard. Cecile talk about hydrofracking and Collier talk about education. Now I want to talk about the Office of Comptroller. It is a great office. It's a stealth office. Everybody thinks the Comptroller is the head bookkeeper, or maybe the treasurer. The Comptroller is an incredibly powerful office. The office, in fact, is independent of the governor, independent of the legislature, and the office has two great powers, one of which is to invest. The Comptroller is the sole trustee of the Common Retirement Fund. There's $135 billion, 9 zeros, dollars in that fund right now, and the Comptroller decides where it gets invested. Right now, lots of it goes to Israel, to Ireland, to all kinds of interesting places to invest when New York State is desperate for investment. When I am elected Comptroller, we will change that policy. We will begin to invest in New York State, in housing, in industry, in jobs, in education. There are very, very fine and socially responsible investments that we can make, which will return the income that the retirement fund needs to pay people's pensions. But the second interesting and powerful thing that the Comptroller has is the power of the audit. The Comptroller may audit every single location, city, state office in the state. And recently, the Comptroller also got the power to audit the charter schools. Charter schools, some of them are working fine, some of them are good nonprofits, many of them are for-profit scams. And there are going to be 200 more of them since the legislature just lifted the cap on it. The Comptroller, when I am Comptroller, will see that those schools are doing the job that we, the voters of New York State and the taxpayers of New York State, have paid them to do, which is educate our youth and educate them properly. At the moment, a whole lot of it is going as investment transfers to hedge funds. So as Comptroller, I will use the power of the audit to bring honesty and integrity to an office that it desperately needs. I would just like to point out that every country in the European Union provides a free university education to their youth. Not only free, but stipended university education, because they understand what it means to invest and the return on investment. The fact that the United States has turned education into a for-profit trough for banks to, in fact, ingest at doesn't mean that the rest of the world doesn't already know what we used to know and need to learn again.